Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 here with another episode, sort of Hearts of Iron 4. Well, I wanted to make this another great episode going on. I know you know that I love promoting up good things dealing with Hearts of Iron. Now, beginning of the last episode, I thought it was because I had saved immediately upon entry of having the Expeditionary Force, the volunteers, sent to Spain, and somehow that just didn't get saved right. And so it was like my fault if I let it go for an hour. I thought like since it was maybe the exact same hour or something, I didn't know. And so it didn't work well. And so I had to delay the whole time. The Expeditionary Force had to take the time to sail back to England and then sail back, send it back to Spain, and then we got it going. It was supposed to start at the beginning of last episode of, hey, the Spanish involvement here. Now we have the same situation. Who's attacking these people here? This infantry division. Now let's check this out. I haven't really gone beyond this, but meaning I can't click on this. Well, okay. But notice he's not part of a corps anymore. Let's see what this does. I noticed this. I got this far. Okay, what we got? Got that. So since they're in combat, but I no longer have my Spanish Expeditionary Corps, or English Expeditionary Corps to Spain, or whatever you want to call it. Let's, just because we may be able to continue playing, I don't know. Obviously, we could ignore this, but this is something a bit frustrating. So we've got the Blenheim. Okay, we are in 38 May, so let's go with... Hope these have different sets of resources. Let's start with the Spitfire. Okay, well let's look here. Okay, 1, 2, 1. No, come on, people. Come on, people. And yeah, I'm not sure exactly who I'm talking to, whether this is BlackICE or whether this is Total War. But to have the same set of resources for Hurricanes and Spitfires, specifically the aluminum. Okay, people. Not that there's no aluminum in a Hurricane, okay? I'm sure there's some. You just happen. It says Supermarine here just because I have that tech company activated. But obviously it's a Hawker Hurricane. This type. But the idea of the Hurricane is that it's a cloth-skinned aircraft, not an aluminum-skinned aircraft. I do believe it has a metal frame. Might be aluminum. Hold on. I'm going to pause this and look this up just to be sure. Okay, I'm back. Now, I want to clearly state, I am not a British aircraft expert, but I do remember a few things, and essentially I am correct. The early ones, and I did read this, the early versions of the Hurricane had a fabric wing setup covering. Later, starting, I think it was late 39, they said, or something, they started to go with a higher performing stressed metal, pressed metal wings. But also what they had was, they said that in the Wikipedia article, it took just about 10,000 man-hours to build a Hawker Hurricane. Okay? And it... No. Yeah, that's fine. But it took just over 15,000 man-hours to produce a Spitfire. I'm going to research this instead. Okay, zero progress. But now, but you can see here, production cost of 17. Okay, so that's basically, one factory has an output of that per day, versus production cost of 1. So of 21. So production cost is higher for the Hawker Hurricane. Interception, air superiority, and interception, air superiority. So I don't get why the Supermarine here is either equal to or with production costs less than the base model of the Hawker Hurricane. So I'm not absolutely sure whether this is BlackICE issue, because I've not looked into this as a aircraft on the BlackICE thing or a total war, but I know this is, I think this is different because I've looked at some of the German stuff. It's different between these, so I'm guessing this is total war. But either way, either mod or both mods should reflect that. And the idea, let's see, you don't have very many models of Spitfires here, only a base sort of model. Okay, well, but let's see what's going to happen here with our invading Spain. Or is us still here, even though we are volunteer forces in transfer. I know I haven't sent new ones out. And they've left combat. Let's speed this up. We're still getting battlefield information reported from Test cricket on TV. Test cricket, or test match cricket, is a broadcast for the first time by the BBC with coverage of the second test of the Ashes series between England and Australia, live from Lord's Cricket Ground. Okay. Yes, I know that has a lot of meaning to somebody who's English. I have attempted to watch cricket, attempted to understand even its basic mechanics, and have been unable to. I know one guy throws a ball, another guy has a flat bat, he tries to hit it. I don't understand the objective of where he's trying to hit it to, either somebody or someplace or whatever, and I don't really understand if he's trying to run some sort of bases or something in a given amount of time. I don't know. I think it's one of those things that for people to determine whether you're truly English or not, or come from a Commonwealth country, because obviously like Pakistan and India, it's a massively big thing there. So if you come from a Commonwealth country, you're one of the initiated, that you had to grow up with it. I'll say this goes back to my belief very strongly in the major distinctions between large groups of people. Again, notice I said major distinctions, and between large groups of people. Fall of Nanjing, go look at that. Is different than an individual. And distinctions between individuals, those are extremely different things, are cultural more so than racial. The 38 FIFA World Cup. the D-Worm built a great mod for this, for Hearts of Iron 3, and he put in there something that, oh, I don't think it was national unity, but it was something that sort of, maybe it was national or something, that disrupted things or put a modifier that in my opinion lasted way too long and had way too big effect. Either had a really big effect, like disrupt work in Germany when they didn't win or something, for like a week or a month I might have got, but because I know this is something that Americans understand what soccer is. Okay, you run around and kick a ball, there's two teams, you try to get it in the goal. We get that. We just, most of us find it uninteresting. Now I must say, I don't have the sports gene. Now that may be passed on from my father, who even less than I really gets involved in the tribalism of sports and who's winning and who's losing, and he can watch a baseball game or a basketball game or something and enjoy it, and I sort of, I guess, inherited this. Again, I don't know that it's a gene, but a cultural thing, but not really. It just, oh, it's an interesting game to watch, two teams, see who wins. I just don't get involved in it, and America's tribes are not based around soccer. So, but I get the worlds, and I get how it played, and I also get how it's simple for everyone to play in any economic or age status, in that all you need is a ball and a big open space. It's different than cricket. But yes, so and so, like I say, major distinctions between people, in my opinion, are cultural. And this may also come from being an American who has lots of different cultures that at one point or another people generally seem to come into one, and I can see people be, yeah, we no longer get, okay, things. So okay, have been fighting. Yes. So that's just why I call myself a culturalist. Not that I, well, may not like elements of a culture. I may like I can say I like, some Mexican food. I don't like mariachi bands. I mean, I don't like hate them, but they're of no interest to me. And I can understand why people don't like Scottish bagpipe music, okay? It's a cultural thing. And so I'm a culturalist. I judge groups of people, again, different than an individual, groups of people, and I judge it as a basis on culture. And yes, I did sort of mention something, that brown people of Mexico, not all Mexicans are brown people, as a few Hispanic friends of mine that are Irish, because they're Hispanics. Why are they? Because they're some of the Irish that moved to Mexico, and they are not mestizo or mixed race. They're some of the Irish that went down to Mexico because it was a Catholic country. But I can also say, I guess polka music maybe comes from Poland. Hi, Polish viewers, or some place like that. I don't like polka music either. So, it has nothing to do with race. It has, and it's something you would maybe call race in the 19th century, as they viewed it. I view it as a cultural distinction, and so I can choose to, either parts or the great majority of cultures, dislike that for some reason, and not always it's a hate or want to have bad things to happen to her. Maybe even most of the time, it's just some of the dislikes are not a taste thing like music or food, but just look at how successful the culture is. Success is important, meaning we can look at cultures that have evaporated over time because they've been unsuccessful. So I'm going to, at least for the moment, and I don't know what I'm going to do next. I don't know whether I should or shouldn't. You can post down below, because I'm really, okay, this has happened twice, and this is a major thing with expeditionary events here.
Listen up!
But it's not necessarily a game breaking, so I don't know if I should continue this or not. Please post below. It isn't quite as bad as the thing that ended, it was completely ending the last playthrough. Taking Leningrad ends BlackICE for that. repeated crash. This isn't quite a crash to desktop, but it is a significant thing. And again, I don't know whether this is for sure, whether this is BlackICE or Total War or some sort of combo of those, but that's what we're running into now. So thanks very much for watching. Thanks for liking the video. If you would, I know this is not a great video, but it does sort of help get visibility. And of course, like I do say, I would love to hear your questions and comments should I continue this series as Britain, because basically we're giving up, and it's not a major thing, but I was really sort of hoping to get Spain as a British ally. See you next time for more Hearts of Iron.